Alright guys, good day wherever it's you're connecting from, and welcome to this weekly outlook. In this particular video, I'm going to be talking about the DXY and the major pairs, right? The GBP USD and the Euro USD majorly. I won't be talking about the NZD USD, as I don't trade NZD USD, I don't trade AUD USD. I will just be focusing on GBP USD, I'll be focusing on Euro USD, and then the DXY for this particular call. Now, some very much interesting thing again I want to highlight is that for this week we have some very interesting news. On Monday we have PMI by 4 p.m. USD PMI, which is a point of interest for us, and we also have USD tentative on Tuesday, right? The job openings, we have that on Tuesday for the USD. On Wednesday we have the ADP NFP on, that is non-farm employment change, on Tuesday, and also the ISM service PMI on Wednesday. We also have on Thursday the GBP monetary policy report, which is a major interest to me, and then tentative the unemployment claims, and then on Friday we have NFP. So this week is already a week full with so much movement for us, potentials for us, all right, and it calls for carefulness, and hence the reason why I'm going to be focusing on the dollar, the GBP USD, the Euro USD for this week. I believe we will get a lot of move from the GBP this week also, but let's see what we can get from that as we proceed. Okay, so going further, let's look at the dollar. Beginning our analysis from the monthly time frame, I'll be taking a look at the concern daily range and what my market is doing here. Ideally, this is going to be my monthly daily range, right? The daily range I always identify is just the range with which I identify my points of interest or my place for the week. And on the monthly daily range, it's going to span from this particular high to this low. But now it's obvious that by the open of by Monday candle is going to be the opening of a new moon candle, and there are chances that we are actually going to clear these highs. In short, it's obvious that we're heading for these highs. It's one of the closest liquidity targets that we can expect on this particular highs, and potentially some other imbalances that we have above. So right on this monthly daily range, we are heavily bullish, and as you can see right here on the dollar index, we've been respecting some bullish wave ever since. We've been having series of higher highs, higher lows, right? Higher highs, higher lows, and then a higher high movement. So there are chances that we've created a new higher highs, giving us these lows and these highs as our new daily range. So I would actually want to see potential continuation to the upside, capturing these highs, capturing these relative equal highs right here, and maybe potentially the highs that we have just right above there. All right, so I'm heavily bullish on the dollar index. Now by Monday there are chances that we might get a drop on Monday. All right, I'm even anticipating a drop on Monday, at least back to this point of interest. The whole of this move is something of, is a major concern, is a point of interest of concern to me, or I can even take it from the top here. All right, so it's a point of interest of concern to me, where I would really want to see the DXY trade right into this level by the open of the Monday into Tuesday, and then Wednesday during the NFP we begin to see heavily bullish price action. But I'm rooting for this week to close as a bullish price action. All right, if we should now align that with what we have with our quarter point levels, which is very much important for me, or before we talk about the quarter point levels, let's look at what the weekly time frame have for us, or the story of the drawn liquidity on the weekly time frame. On this particular weekly time frame, we had this drawn liquidity as interest last week, all right, and it got rated. You can make reference to the video, the previous video that we had, and we had points of interest right here where we should see price react from, and we rated that particular liquidity. Now the next drawn liquidity for me is going to be these particular highs, and the range I'll be much interested in is going to be these lows. I have this concept of the previous weekly lows as defining my true range in a bias. For example, if I have a bullish bias and a new week is about to open, I don't really usually consider that particular immediate previous week lows. I like considering the previous one. I'm going to record a special video explaining more on that. So if I thought we are going to go bullish, I wouldn't want to see price close below these lows. All right, I just want to see price respect these lows as we aim for the liquidity resting above there. So this is it on the weekly time frame. In other words, if we should now bring it in relation to what we have here on our quarter point levels, we see that a major interest here. Now, this was that weekly lows that we marked out, which every single thing is in alignment with what we had. I remember the points of interest we marked span from this particular highs to these lows. So we're expecting price to come here. Easy target is going to be this quarter point levels and beyond, which is not going to be this target resting above there. So it is pretty much heavy bullish price action for me. The question is, where are we going to potentially retrace from? if I should add, sorry about that, if I should add some more bias and confirmation to these on the 4 hours using the 4 hour support and resistance levels, I'm going to I can see some major areas of support and resistance resting around here on the 4 hours time frame. If we don't use this, we have, as you can see, major areas of support and resistance just right here. All right, very, very interesting points for us. So those are areas that I could potentially see the dollar index sell into. If we don't sell into that, that means we might also see them capturing these lows for a more deeper retracement to now start going to the upside. You know, the best bet I'm going to call for you guys on this, even without having to look at these demand and supply levels, if I don't go as far back as that, the next major areas of demand and supply levels that I'll be very much interested in is going to be the ones right here. All right, I love the demand and supply levels right at this particular point. How do I pick my demand and supply levels? I'll make a video on that during the courses and lectures that we're going to be having, and I'll be releasing for you guys soon. And so I'll be looking at that bearish price movement. All these things are sweet points of interest for me. Now, before I will engage in any of all this trade, this is the confirmation I want: a clear 4 hours evidence of accumulation. All right, a 4 hours break. So if we should begin to see that descent, until I see a 4 hours break of structure, not 1 hour, not 15 minutes, 4 hours break of structure is what I want to see. Now, remember, we drew our ranges on the weekly time frame, which is going to span from this range to, you know, the potential liquidity that we have above there. So, and I taught you guys about time frame price correlation, where if an analysis is conducted on the weekly time frame, we want to see evidence on 4 hours. If it is conducted on the monthly time frame, we want to see evidence on the daily time frame. If it's conducted on the daily, we want to see it on the 1 hour time frame. So that is why I would prefer to wait for 4 hours to align with what we have. So a 4 hours evidence of accumulation is going to be that trade for me, and that will be the swing for the whole of the week, including during the NFP movements we're going to be having for this. All right, so these are the easy targets I have, and these are my views for what we could potentially have on the dollar. What will that mean? So a bullish dollar bias is going to simply mean a bearish Euro USD bias. All right, and coming to the monthly time frame to conduct an analysis on the Euro USD, you realize that just like the dollar and the Euro USD, we have some lows right here that are easy targets for us. And you know what this candlestick, look at this 3 candlestick formations here now, right? This 3 candlestick formation is a signal of an evening star. This is a typical evening star formation. And each time you see evening star in the candle, in the market, it usually leads to a potential retracement or a continuation move. So you see a bullish trend. An evening star or a morning star candle is usually a sign for a potential reversal in the market. So you see in a bullish market structure, and an evening star present is a sign for a reversal in the market. All right, or a bearish star or a bearish movement, and then a morning star present, it's a sign for a bullish market. And what is an evening star or a morning star candle? It's simply a 3 candlestick formation where the first candle will usually be larger than the second candle. All right, and then the third candle must close beyond 50% of the first candle. I released a video on that in the last bootcamp we had, and you can scroll back to the previous videos we had and then make reference to it. So, and that is typically what we have here, where you have a 3 candlestick formation, first candle, second candle, third candle, close beyond 50%. So that is a typical case. Look at these also. You have this candle, first candle bigger than second, third candle close beyond 50% of it, and then what did you get? Sweet bearish price action. Anywhere in the chart you can spot an evening star. That is typically what happens. All right, there are many examples on there, and it's relative. All right, look at this is a morning star. First candle bigger than second, third candle close beyond first candle, and that is it, a bullish price action. And many other cases, you always see this potentially lead to that. So ideally, we're going to be, I'm having a bearish bias. Anyways, we're having a bullish bias on the dollar, so that means a bearish bias on the Euro USD. So more sales on the Euro USD. The question is, where are we going to sell from? Let's look at the daily time frame. So right here on the daily time frame, we have a range confirmed for us. All right, so we have these lower lows or lower highs, lower lows. Then we have a lower highs and a new lower low being formed. This is the external liquidity target we're looking at capturing. All right, so looking at that particular lows, I would really want to see price come back into, even if it is the whole of this move, right, before we now start taking our price action to the downside. Now, to even refine it more, I want to look at the weekly time frame and what we can get there on the weekly time frame. So on the weekly time frame, just a moment, guys, sorry about it. All right, so yeah, On the weekly time frame, this is exactly my range of interest, all right? So the previous weekly highs is going to be that range of interest, and then the drawn liquidity for me is this particular lows that we have here. So on the weekly time frame, anywhere, any price action above this is going to really be that trade for me. What will be the trade confirmation for me? Trade confirmation is going to be a 4 hours evidence, all right? So coming to the 4 hours time frame now, what I would really love to see is that the 4 hours should be able to, if they give us that 4 hours retracement and then an evidence of distribution on the 4 hours, then that will be the sell. Easy target is going to be this quarter point levels here and then beyond the target that we have here. All right. While I believe in liquidity, as many other persons too, who believe that price is liquidity engineered, I believe strongly in the concept of liquidity. I also believe that price journey from one level to another levels. Hence the reason why I know that, okay, we have taken off from this quarter point levels. The next quarter point levels target is going to be here, and even the ones that we have beyond. Now, extra confluence for these guys is going to be this supply and demand levels right here, right? So it makes much sense to see price to come all the way here. These supply and demand levels make so much sense for me to see, all right? If I should refine it just a little bit more, all right, so I can factor in some more levels just right here. See that these levels make so much sense for me to see price reaction. So I really want to see price come all the way up here. Then a 4 hours evidence, emphasis on 4 hours, not 1 hour, not 15 minutes. A 4 hour shift in structure, that means we'll have a confirmed high and low range, and then we'll begin to sell the market to the downside. That is exactly what I have on the Euro USD. Now coming to the GBP USD, exactly the same bias. All right, I'm bearish on the GBP USD since I'm bullish on DXY. On GU, we've cleared this particular lows, but we still have some more targets below. We have these imbalances. We have some of these previous monthly liquidities right there. On the daily time frame, we can see that price is heavily bearish. When I mean price is heavily bearish, we're actually heavily bearish. And same thing, I would really love to see price come back all the way up, give us that evidence to now start selling to the downside. 4 hours evidence. On the weekly time frame, we can see that our weekly range now is going to be drawn from this particular highs, and easy target is going to be here. More target is going to be the open of this particular order block right here, and potentially these lows here. All right, so these are the points I'm going to be looking out for on the GBP USD. So having said that, if I should correlate what we have here to the quarter points levels and areas of support and resistance, it's going to actually make sense for me to see price during this new week tap back into these quarter point levels before we dump. All right, as you can see, we broke past this previous quarter point levels, retraced back right into it, and rejected just off from there. Look at where these retracements happened from, right, the quarter point levels. Now, quarter point levels are very significant in price movement. I believe so much in quarter point levels. I believe that price is always journeying from one level to another level to another level, taking their major turning point from those levels. And if you understand, it is just beyond the levels anyways, because if you understand price reactions at quarter point levels, is going to be a serious game changer for you. All right, and beyond the quarter point levels, there are quarter point hesitation levels also, all right, which are plotted with a fib settings, and I explained that in the previous bootcamp, so you can make reference to that. So I would really want to see price at least come back into these quarter point levels to now give us that evidence to start selling to the downside. On the 4 hours time frame, looking at what we have on the 4 hours time frame, I think right around that quarter point levels, we have some areas of support and resistance. If I should zoom in back, you can see all these areas of support and resistance around the quarter point levels. So before I would even want to engage, this is exactly what I want to see. A bullish price action, a typical 4 hour shift in structure. 4 hours, it must be 4 hours, 4 hour shift in structure, and that will be our descent to capture these lows and as well as to get to this particular quarter point levels. All right, so I hope you've gotten value from this. So just trade safe, clap easy, don't blow your account in this new week. It's a new month, it's a fruitful month for each and every one of us. All right, so I'll be dropping weekly updates or daily updates in our Telegram group chat. The link is going to be dropped in the description box, and I will also be releasing some more content for you guys on the YouTube channel, so stay tuned. All right, so if any questions, if anything, please drop them in the comment section. I'm going to address that. If you found value in this particular video, please don't fail to hit that like and subscribe button, and also share with your friends. All right, so thank you and cheers to a profitable week. Shalom, shalom.